What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Hadi Choopan. So Hadi must have been waiting for this weekend all the way, starting from last year's Miss Olympia. From the moment he lost that Olympia title to Derek Lunsford last year. A whole year to grinding so damn hard, putting everything on the line. And now Hadi for sure can see the finish line. So will there be any progress pictures coming out of Hadi's camp this close to the Olympia? I have to say highly unlikely, but thanks to Hadi Brandao for letting us see a glimpse of what the Persian Wolf has been cooking all along. So nobody in the Olympia lineup has a fully throttled chest like Hadi Choopan, and I think we can all agree on that. You guys can see those fibers moving all over his chest while he's doing that cross cable. And how interesting is that the guy Hadi is chasing, his teammate, Derek Lunsford, he would love to have a chest like Hadi. And this has been the biggest criticism on Derek in this last 1 year. The chest and those shoulders on Hadi, the sheer amount of detail, the quality of muscle that he brings to the stage. That is just absolutely unmatched. And that is exactly what makes his most muscular one of the most powerful shots. And we all know Hadi Choopan absolutely loves to milk that shot. And rightfully so. So this video was taken at 4 or 5 days out of this year's Miss Olympia. So Hadi for sure is gonna dry out and get a lot harder. So what if Hadi is as sharp from the back as he is from the front? Now that is what he must be aiming for. And if he can bring the hardness from the back, I have to say he is gonna be Miss Olympia again. But the thing is, we do not know whether Hadi can get as hard from the back as he does from the front, because that's just how his genetics are.
Address a rumor if Andrew is hurt. That's partially true, but it's not hurt. He's hurting. Every day out here, it's pretty painful. But he looked at himself and he's able to push through. So let's just miss all the rumors. He's not hurt. He's hurting.
Chris Lewis aka Psycho Fitness throws a real jab at everyone who has been saying that Andrew jacked. He has some form of an injury going into this year's Miss Olympia. So we all know Andrew Jack has been training with Psycho Fitness for 2 years now. I believe these guys have done 4 shows together so far, starting with the Arnold Classic 2023. And I don't remember Psycho Fitness being this confident about Andrew ever before for any of his shows. Now we all know weight is irrelevant. But here is the latest story of Andrew Jack, confirming that he's still above 300 pounds, around 3 days out of the men's open bodybuilding prejudging. And if Psycho Fitness is saying that the man looked like a Greek god this morning, then that only means one thing. They have gotten rid of all the water, especially from the flight and stuff. And they are well on their way to present his all-time best at this year's Olympia stage.
So I looked at Andrew today in the sunlight, the morning light, and he looked like a Greek god coming in, landing. So very excited, very happy.
Now, if there are 4 guys in the men's open final call-out, with Hadi Choopan, Derek Lunsford, Samson Dauda and Andrew Jack, it is gonna be apples and oranges. And the fact that people have no side to believe that Andrew has closed that size gap between him and the other guys who have beaten him in the past, that makes this Olympia very interesting. So when we talk about Andrew's front, which by the way are his front shots, which he is for sure gonna win, the front double biceps, the front lat spread and the abs and thigh. Now on the flip side, we just cannot ignore that he is most probably gonna lose the side as well as the back shots. Not to mention they are all gonna lose that most muscular to Hadi Choopan anyway. Unless of course Andrew has made some crazy amount of improvements from Texas Pro till now. Well, his trainer Psycho Fitness did tell us that his favorite shot on Andrew right now is his back double biceps. So only a few more days to find out how this whole thing plays out. But do let me know what you guys think. Can Andrew Jack win the Olympia title this year? Another sneak peek of Rafael Brandao, 3 days out of this year's Miss Olympia. So you must have seen this picture already. So I want to point out towards the moment when Flex was mentioned that people aren't expecting that. And yes, we aren't, because his own coach Neil Hill said that this is gonna take another 2 years for Rafael Brandao to put on enough size, enough mass to go up against guys like Andrew Jack and Samson Dauda and be really competitive. So the question is what kind of magic these guys have done from the Arnold this year up until this year's Olympia in the last few months, where Brandao is just so confident that he is claiming that he is gonna shock the entire bodybuilding world come stage time, which is Friday. So, is he really 15 pounds heavier? Well, I don't know, but he does look granite like a rock and hard as nails, and we still have time to go. So, Rafael Brandao is most likely gonna be in a great condition. As per Neil Hill, they were already ahead of his Arnold Ohio look a week out of the show, and we have to keep in mind, Brandao looked so amazing in Ohio. So, more size, better conditioning, more mass, and that too on that kind of structure, which is like one of the most pleasing to look at. I have to say, what does more he need? But still, looking at the comparison between him and Samson Dauda, which was in March, there was still a huge size gap. And it is really difficult to wrap your head behind the fact that he has already closed that gap in just a matter of a few months.
In our low carb phase, our depletion phase, all the way to the last minute before we start putting the carbs in. We're just kind of playing that one by ear. At one point, doing some want to start raising the carbs, but we want to leave it as late as possible.
So there won't be any crazy carb load for Samson Dauda, and they have also decided to delay that for as long as they possibly can. So typically, a guy who is as big as Samson Dauda, they would need at least 2 or 3 days of carbs loading, because a structure of that size, it needs time to properly fill out. But I guess they're making that decision based on the experience from this year's Arnold UK, when Samson was kept on very low carbs all the way till the showtime, and we all know he ended up with the most detailed and most separated looking physique the world of bodybuilding has ever seen on him. So his former coach Milos Sarcev used to say that a guy like Samson Dauda, who is just so damn massive, he cannot be flat.
The man is definitely taking me to the wire on this one, so really pushing to the last minute, and I am hanging, absolutely hanging. But you know what? No longer now. A few more days, and we're through this one. So now is the point of, nothing but mental toughness. Mental toughness is the finish line. And
so it was all positive feedback for Samson Dauda and his team after winning this year's France Pro. So many people have been doubting his wife as his coach throughout this year. But I have to say, she really knows how to pick Samson Dauda, and she has now shown us that twice. So 2 weeks was plenty of time for Samson Dauda to get even more crispier. And I have to say, these last few days before the Olympia, they are gonna be the hardest ones. But the thing is, after years and years of competing, he knows there is just no other way for him to get really shredded, but to suffer harder than ever. So you won't find a single bodybuilding expert on the planet right now who would say that Samson has all the tools to win the Olympia this year. So he was 6th at his Olympia debut. He was top 3 last year, which was his 2nd Olympia. So what do you guys think? Is he moving up in 2024? Another top Olympian pulls out of the show, and this time it's a big name from men's physique division, a guy who has placed top 3 in the world, not once but twice already in his career. Plus he has won an Arnold Classic title as well. So Diogo Montenegro just announced that he won't be doing this year's Miss Olympia because he isn't 100% both physically and mentally. And the fans really aren't happy about this, because we are just 4 days out of this year's big show, when the contracts have been all signed, and the higher-ups at the Olympia, and especially their marketing team, they're selling those tickets by marketing all these guys who are gonna be on the Olympia stage. And if a top guy from any division pulls out, that certainly is a big blow to the overall competition. But that being said, I guess there is one last guy for the winning men's physique champion Ryan Terry to worry about. So Brandon Hendrickson announced it months back that he won't be competing this year. Now some people are bringing Nick Walker's name in this whole discussion, that he's the one who has opened the doors for others to pull out of the show anytime they want to. Now I have to say, if there is a health concern, which Diogo says he has, and he has been pushing himself very hard in the past few months, then it is totally understandable. But still, why wait all the way until 4 days out to make this announcement? So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.